While a lot of farmers markets are closed in the coldest months, there are still a few farm-friendly vendors welcoming customers. In Nashville Sylvan Park, one grocer has been doing just that for nearly 20 years. In fact, generations of Nashvillians have shopped at the historic spot known simply as the Produce Place.
I worked at a supermarket in Atlanta for a long time, and I was asked to go work, or told, in other words, to go to work in the produce department one afternoon because someone was out. Well, I went over there and I kind of started handling the product and tasting the product, and the flavor of fresh fruits and vegetables intrigued me more than anything. But after a little while, I kind of started thinking, well, golly, I can do this. I can do this as a business of my own. And then I moved to Nashville, and I still had the dream of wanting to do this, and I opened Produce Place #1. You know, we built a customer base, and that's when, you know, it really ignited me about how people like to eat fresh food. It brought me to the point where I was able to purchase this building here, which was built as a neighborhood grocery store back in 1926. The man that ran it for the longest time, Chester James, he bought it in 1940 and ran it until the mid-'80s. And then I got it, it became available to me in 91. But I go through here and I feel the freshness of it. And I got a feel for it, and I got a taste for it. Green beans, corn, asparagus, berries, anything. I'll take my knife out of my pocket and give it a slice and chew it on in a minute, and there it is. I'll decide whether to purchase or not. Since day one, July 13th, 1988, we've been buying local. On the fresh end, on the local manufactured end, whether it was honey or breads, cheese, milk, not to mention a full line of produce that we'd buy locally, well, a full line that was available in the area. So our philosophy is to bring good food that has good flavor to the masses. That's it. You know, if it's good, that we want to have it. If it's better than what we have, we got to have it. And I won't compromise. January is traditionally a slow time of the year for us, always has been. There's no rhyme or reason, that's just the way it is, but it gives us an opportunity to start planning our season. I meet with growers, they come in the office, and we go through catalogs, and we decide on what new items we're going to have, what items that we've had in the past we're going to continue to do again. And that's kind of exciting too, because we get an opportunity to bring in things that we haven't tried before, because it's new to a catalog, or it's new to a grower says, what do you think about trying this? And of course we'll try something. I'd like to have a few things in here that I've seen, you know, in cookbooks, magazines. We're the next to the last link to the consumer, and you're the next to the next. So the only way we can bring it to the masses is for me to get in touch with you and just pass along what's conveyed to me as far as, have you heard of this? Can you get this? And that's probably the biggest question, can you get this? And, you know, this time of the year, that answer would be yes, because, you know, you're seed picking.
Here's a trend that's coming back.
What's that?
Pointy head cabbage.
Really?
Now, when I was growing up, I didn't know anything but pointy head. We were the pointy head cabbage kings of this area. I mean, that's all we ever sold. And then the generation that eat that stuff has died out. They knew they were the sweetest cabbage you could get. They virtually just died out. And people have quit eating cabbage. Everybody's gotten sold, we call it. They want it in a sack, done cut up out of the store, where they don't have to go, you know, they're too lazy to cut up a little slaw. That's a big deal. But now this come back, and it's a new, and I, you know, my heart, I'm sentimental. I want to try this, but it's got, you know, it take 10 years to get people to. You got to beg people to buy $1.50 head of cabbage, and $2. You know, you think it's selling a car.
But at the same time, being a small operation like we are, word of mouth can get people to pick it up and try it more so than just leaving it out there on the rack in a huge supermarket. I need your help to bring Produce Place into play, what it can do for our customers other than just the same general produce market. I like to have some things that are new and different.
Really and truly, from the time you asked me to try this, you're really looking at 3 or 4 years before I can think of even, before we'll know for sure if it's even took or not in this area. And that's generally when you're trying something out new, you don't need much, or one row or whatever across, and you still might have 2 times too much, but you don't never know. And then you just go from there. And it takes years to figure out. I mean, because you only got 1 shot or 2 every year at trying this stuff out.
I need a crystal ball because I sure am unable to pick them. But I'd like to try things, especially when there's something that are appealing, like the beets, the variety of beets, those root vegetables. I'd really like to try some of those.
I will. It's, I always say no, 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 and then I'll sit there one night and I'll try it again.
I don't have time to do it.
Give me a
I don't
heads
have
up.
time. I don't have time to buy the seeds. I don't know that end. I do not know the growing end. I do not know the picking end to the point where I could do it on our own here. But I do know the purchasing end, and I do know what our customer likes due to the experience that I have. And having someone like him that has these catalogs and seeds with items throughout to choose from, I call that a feather in our cap. Truly do. I believe that there is a difference in fresh food. I believe there's a bigger difference in local fresh food, and it's something that education has brought, and it's continuing to do so, and I'm proud to be a part of it. And as much as things have changed, a lot of growers aren't growing like they used to. There's not as many growers growing as they used to, but there's still enough product that's available to me that I keep on doing it. In the summertime, I have to get up at sometimes 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to get started so I can finish my day. There is a certain satisfaction that I get from it, and year to year. And people ask me, when are you going to retire? How long are you going to do this? I'm going to do it as long as I love it. I won't walk away. As long as I'm able to, I'll stay with it.